So where, like, I feel like that's another gray line, like stealing versus inspired by, and that can go to all arts. It can go to our world. It can go to music.
It can go to making fucking bathtubs.
You know, like whatever. Dude, anything.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. Beautiful day.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks, really. But
it's been a fast couple of weeks.
It has been, dude. They're blowing by. I think the whole year's going fast, and
it is.
But yeah, I don't know. I just got a lot of shit going on, you know. I mean, we all kind of do, but
it's just zooming.
It's zooming by. It's going to be, dude, that's what's crazy. Like, I heard a Christmas commercial the other day on the radio.
Have you heard that yet? Shit.
Oh,
not Christmas, but people are already stocking up on the pumpkin spice stuff. Yeah. And
PSL coming out soon at the Starbucks.
Yes. PSL.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah,
we're cruising. We're already almost to the end of the summer.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. It's been a hot one, so I'm excited for some reprieve there.
Honestly, I can't wait for it to not be 95 degrees outside.
Yeah, I think I'm planning a little climbing trip in the fall. Maybe go to Wyoming.
Yeah, get somewhere a little cooler.
Yeah, you know. All right, we are 26 today, right?
I wanted to say 25.
I was hoping I'd get that right.
I was gonna...
No, last time it was 25. I kept calling it 24.
Okay. My iPad's dying.
Double check. Oh, here, I'll look at my phone.
What the fuck?
Oh, no, that won't tell me. Oh, yeah.
Always good.
Anyways. Anyway.
The episode is the episode, and it's a good episode.
We'll attach a number to it in the production time.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, it's just a number. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. What's cool is you have one full day of us talking. At least 24 or 5 hours.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So if you got a 24-hour road trip or a flight around the world,
you can pop us on.
Just serenade you.
And we're happy to keep you entertained. Do you get to your final destination?
Yes. Learn some things.
Learn some stuff about this crazy world we call home.
We got a cool topic today. It's been, I think, at the forefront of every artist's mind. And once you start taking art seriously and want to create revenue and maybe have a career with your art, kind of based off the old quote that Picasso once said, where he said, good artists take and great artists steal. There's a lot of opinions and theories on that.
Yeah, for
simple quote, but powerful quote.
I wonder, it's almost like a premonition quote to like the AI world, right? Because like, you know, I think today we discussed about other artists stealing, or great artists stealing, whatever, all that. But like AI has literally taken that to the next level.
True to the king of that. They're taking everyone's art, combining it, and spitting out tons of renditions. And who knows how, like, maybe if I say generate a skull with a snake and a sword in the background, is it taking millions of skulls, swords, snakes and combining an image? Or do you think sometimes it maybe just filters through the internet and just finds someone that already drew that and just gives you that?
Dude, it might get lazy sometimes, just trying to save a little water.
Right. Save the resources, the energy. Maybe. I'm assuming some of the images that pop out are pretty damn close to someone's piece out there, because it's just filtering through Google Images, Instagram, TikTok, every single platform that's online that has that image or any image.
Yeah.
That is, on that, this is a little bit of a rant, but I'll try to get through it quick. It's cool. I had this thought the other night. All these things have been happening to me recently relating to like AI versus like, well, digital versus analog. And I watched this movie the other day with Kevin Hart. Long story short, he goes on this bachelor party with a bunch of young kids so that he can learn how to like connect with the youth and be a better like creative executive at an advertising firm.
Okay.
And he was kind of dropping the ball, and his boss was like, "You're going to lose your job if you can't like learn to connect with the younger generation, because we're advertising to them." And so he like gets in this group chat on accident with these guys going on a bachelor party to like Miami, and he's like, "I may go on this just to like learn about them." Long story short, I took little things from it. Like, some people in Gen Z are so like anti-digital because the older generation, the millennials, like were so big on it with like MySpace, Facebook, TikTok, Vine. All my generation and yours has put everything online since those cool new things came out, because we didn't have it when we were kids. And so all of our shit's like digital. But I'm hearing a lot of these young kids are like printing out photos and creating books and like memories with their friends that are physical. And I like kind of thought about it, and I saw an AI a commercial the other night that was obviously AI. It was a guy diving in a pool at a hotel, and it was like advertising traveling or some hotel. And I was like, dude, that shit looks so lame. Like, it's obviously so fake. And so I'm like, I feel like the younger generation's going to see this and be like, let's go back to like, you see all these kids shooting with film instead of digital cameras, and like actually, what's it called when you like put your photos in the red room?
Oh,
developing
yeah.
the photos. Sorry, brain block there. But they're like liking to do things by hand now because of how hard this tech wave has hit them their whole life. And they just kind of think it's like cool to go the old school route. And
it is.
And it's way cooler. But I'm thinking like, this tech and AI shit's so crammed down our throat that like you're gonna get that rebel from a lot of cool creatives that like history and learned how to like do it the real way versus like the cheat way on AI. And I actually think it's gonna breed a really cool wave of like rebels that do shit by hand. I don't know. This is just
I could see it being very impactful in the photography industry. There's a guy I started following on Instagram recently. I think it's something wet plates is his thing. Mm-hmm. He does all these cool like portrait photos of tattoo artists, and he's old school, developing that stuff, and he puts little videos up of it coming up, as it's in the development chemicals.
Yeah.
But I could see some big changes coming out as people get back to, because like I took photography classes in college, right? A general art degree, and we had to develop our own film, and we had to use, we didn't have digital cameras back then. And like my father was a pretty big amateur photographer, so we had a dark room at the house and stuff like that. And then at the school as well. But like, there's an actual art form to developing film,
for sure.
And you can leave it in the emulsion longer or less time. That has its
flicker
own
impact.
Flicker a light real quick, get that overexposure, underexposure, like
totally.
You can fuck around with stuff.
It's an art form.
But it's an art form. It really is.
Yeah.
And that's lost
just
with
the process.
digital.
Yes. When it's just you're clicking buttons and you're going through your phone and you change the exposure and all the shit, and like, and that's fun and cool in art in its own regard. It's just not as like cathartic. Your hands aren't on it. You don't have something physical, which I think to me is why I've never been like a really big fan of like I draw digital flash, but then I print the lines a lot of time, and then I like, ballpoint the lines in, and then paint the flash or color pencil it, because like I just think do what you want, but I personally think digital flash printed on the wall is like super lame. It's just not it loses its soul, right?
Oh, there's no. Yeah.
Prints are cool to have, especially if they're hand signed by the artist or embellished, but it isn't the original. Like there's a reason why a print is $100 and original is $2,000. Like it's soulless versus having a soul.
And even then, like there is a little bit of a lost art too with printing prints. Like to get the color right or to get any reflections knocked out. If you're trying to do like a prints of an oil painting that's got
right.
two, gloss finishes on it.
And that's where I think technology is actually sick, where you can bring your painting to a studio, a print house, and they'll put it in that machine and scan it and copy it and have it look exactly how your painting looks for the prints to be fire.
That was probably a lot more manual work before that came out.
Oh yeah,
and it's the same
where they had the camera on the jig and we're having to take the photos and crop, and Photoshop, and it again, art forms. All these things are tools. And getting back to the Picasso thing, I was really big as a young painter in the whole like, I want to find my own thing. I don't want people to look at my work and be like, oh, I see who he's influenced by. Oh, that's a take on whatever. And I just didn't. It always happens, no matter what. We're all influenced by someone or something, and like it shows in our art and our style. But as I'm getting in my 30s and seeing like, there's this kid, for example, Andres Valencia in California. He's like 12, 13 years old, and he paints in Cubism just like Picasso. You would think these are Picasso paintings. He is world renowned in all the galleries, selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of art a year, and it is literally Picasso's work. He's recognized in the art world community as a prolific young artist. So I'm like, the people that are curating art on the highest fucking level accept that and understand that it's just a part of the evolution of art. And some things were done so well that why not just like keep creating it? And even though you're not the original artist, you didn't originate the Cubism abstract look, but the world could always use more of it, I guess, is maybe their perspective. I don't know.
Well, and like that's one of the notes I took when you sent me over like your thoughts on today's episode was like, there's probably a fine line between stealing and copying work versus creating your own work, but in a certain style that you're emulating. So like Cubism, Impressionism, realism, hyper-realism, traditional, if we're going to go down that neo-trad,
right?
Whatever, like as artists, as tattoo artists specifically, we all talk about those different styles of tattooing when we're trying to communicate to our clients or potential clients, like what we do and where we like to live, right? But, like what an exercise I used to give to apprentices a lot is like, take an image of a tattoo done by your favorite tattoo artist, whoever that is, and use the same elements, but make it different.
Right.
Make it your own design, version, and like, there's a little bit of stealing there because they could even go so far as to keep the layout and the elements that are in that piece like the same, but just change it up a little bit. Because like, what's the law on copyright is like 10% change.
There is that aspect.
Get you out of that.
As far as what the law sees it as,
which is nothing.
Nothing. you could tweak something so slightly and that wouldn't scan line for line and okay, it's different enough to avoid copyright infringement or something like that.
Right.
And I mean, because you're not wrong, like a lot of like American traditional born in the 1910s or 1890s, we're not stealing Lyle's and Sailor Jerry's and all these people's work. We're basically taking something that works really well and just expanding on it. Yeah, my sparrow looks a lot like 1,000 traditional artists from 10 different decades, but like it fucking works. People love it. It's not exactly the same, and I'm good with carrying on the tradition of tattooing in that style and giving people that work because they connect with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. My grandpa had whatever, you know, like they connect with it.
I feel like with this topic today, there's such a fine line between
Such a fine line, bro.
all these different avenues of like what we're talking about. Like,
this is like a 6-month seminar.
Tattoo. Yeah, it really is.
Like you could take a college course on this topic.
For sure. Let's take a traditional sparrow tattoo.
Right.
I mean, dude, if you put 200 tattoo artists in a room and was like, you get no photo reference, all you have for your reference is your brain and what you remember, but I want every one of you, 200 tattoo artists in the same room, I want you all to draw a traditional sparrow tattoo. Go.
With these 4 colors.
Yeah,
they're going to look very fucking similar.
I mean, it's just the odds, right? That like, what, 5 of them are going to be like pretty much exactly the same?
For sure.
Like, especially with something so simple. You can only do...
Right. The only thing we could really change is do you want straight on the side, from the bottom. Like the perspective
those
of
would be the biggest changes.
sparrow is going to be different, but really it's going to be a very similar design.
And like, no one will ever... You're never going to see a lawsuit over like, dude, your sparrow looks a lot like my fucking sparrow.
Right.
Or your trad rose looks identical to my trad rose. Well, of course it fucking does.
It's traditional rose,
but like,
or sparrow.
But then, and again, going to like all the fine lines that are in this topic, it's like, what's different, or how is that different if you like, you're not going to sue someone and because their traditional sparrow tattoo looks alarmingly like your traditional sparrow tattoo. But you might start considering suing someone if they put down a sleeve.
I was going to say like a back motif.
Very identical to what you did, or a large scale project.
Yeah.
And if that's different, then why? It's just more of it, but it's still... copying your version on something else, and
you're in gray waters.
It's in gray waters, right? And it depends on the fucking sharks that are in that water. Like,
right.
Why is it okay to do like a rose that's maybe only like 2% different than another rose, but you're going to catch some fucking heat if you make a sleeve that's only 2% different than a sleeve you saw online or whatever.
It's true. And I mean, so again, it's tough. Like, because there are artists, for example, like Ed Hardy's done some really cool back pieces that like changed the game at the time when he went to Japan in 1970 something and did that back piece. People have recreated that almost dead nuts as like an homage to him, in being like, I loved your work so much, I wanted to put that on someone else. He didn't seek lawsuits for that. He was like, that's really cool. I did something that this client wanted. I no longer tattoo. And they did it. And and now I have another back piece in the world. Yeah, sure, I didn't do it, but it's my design. I have a tattoo of Obey's thing, like Shepard Fairey's on my arm. Like, I don't think he'd be mad if he saw that. He'd be like, damn, you love my art so much you got it tattooed on your body. Like, that's fucking cool. I don't know. Like, it's such in the eyes of the beholder and the haver and doer. And so we talked about it in the parking lot that day. And I was like, I just think the biggest issue with this is when people steal a back piece, a sleeve, something big, even all the way down to a sparrow, and they don't give credit to the original artist. It's totally fine if you want a Burt Grimm panther. Bring it in, I'll tattoo it exactly like that. I'm going to put this tattoo was created in 1945 by this artist in this area, and it's a recreation of that piece. It doesn't even have to be different at all. They wanted that Burt Grimm. Burt Grimm's their favorite artist. Dude's dead. Whatever. You know, like, asked me this question 5 years ago. I had an issue with it because I was all about custom, original, all that shit. I think I grew out of my ego a little bit and just accepted art for what it is. And if you're inspired by something, you can recreate it. Just give the credit where it's due. For tattooing.
Yeah.
Painting's a whole different.
Well, like, and I don't even see a different, like, that was another thing I wanted to bring up, was like, you know, I recreate on skin a fair amount of paintings.
Yeah.
And these are famous paintings.
And,
and I always make kind of a big to-do about it, you know, and I tag the artist if they're alive or if they have an Instagram account.
Right.
Even if they don't, I still name them. But yeah, I think that's the difference there, right? Like, if you're giving credit as, you know,
this was not my idea.
This was a painting.
I just did it.
This is a Josh Bowman painting, and my client wanted it, and so this is my version of it
on skin. I would almost, if I was a famous painter, take that image, screenshot it. Dre Bullard out of Denver, Colorado, did a really sick back piece of one of my paintings. Here it is.
Right.
It's almost like, well, and it's the cool part. I think one of the coolest parts about tattooing is how designs spread before the internet. People back in the day, and this is a little like Easter egg on some plans that I have that we'll talk about after this, but just for a cool project in the future. People used to, before the internet, have pen pals across the world. And when they traveled, they meet up with other artists at conventions and just events and things like that. And they'd find each other, right? If you were tattooed in 1940, you knew who else tattooed just based on how they looked.
Yeah, there was
or who loved tattoos.
Really. Yeah.
And chances are you'd get to know them. There wasn't a lot going on back then. You'd probably go to their house, their studio, hang out, drink, become friends, exchange information. And then all of a sudden you got this buddy in Vietnam or Japan or Europe. And all of a sudden now it's like you're sending each other sheets of designs. That's how Japanese art got to America. That's how American art got to Europe, is pen pal shit. So now you're starting to see American designs pop up in Europe and in Japan, and Japanese designs pop up in America. And there wasn't like publications back then that had tattoos as like the centerpiece of what they were talking about. And so the only way art spread is because artists shared it with each other with the intention of like, tattoo this shit. I just unlocked 50 new designs for your clients to get, and vice versa. You just gave me 50 designs. So now the ball is rolling. The designs are flowing. We're getting more influence from each other. We're also recreating, and we're tattooing line for line, but it's something these people have never seen before. So it's cool. And to me, the pioneers of this basically outlined, it's okay to tattoo my work. It's okay if I tattoo your work with the blessing, right? And so I just think carrying on that tradition, that Jacob Donnelly guy, one of my favorite American traditional artists, the other day, I told you, he was like, send me pics if you've ever like tattooed my work or my designs. And everyone was like, I see what you're doing. Fuck you. And like, he was like, no, genuinely, like, I want to get flooded with photos of people that have done my work because I want to create a book of hundreds of artists who's tattooed my designs. And then he capped it off with like, if it's on the internet, it's fair game. And I'm like, it's not true. Whether you want to be shiesty and steal it and take it for yourself, you're kind of a fucker. But
yeah,
again, I mean, credit where it's due. But
yeah.
I do think now, fuck, man, if it's online between AI and the 10,000 hungry artists in the world, it's gonna get taken.
Well,
just how you take it.
And I think I find it interesting how, like, we're cool with some stealing,
right? It's so convoluted.
And then we're not cool with other stealing. Like, you take like dedicated, I do it every day, realism art, tattoo artists.
What? Yeah, you're legit taking from
they Google
all sources.
Sunset, Manhattan Beach.
You
and
get
then
a
they
photograph.
fucking tattoo it.
Yeah.
And nobody ever says anything or gives a shit.
No. It's just another recreation of some photo done by some artist. But a photograph
is an artist.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
100%.
Like, I mean, sure, maybe there's a couple on there that are like some 13-year-old snapping them on family vacation, but still, it's art. And like,
it's a moment captured by someone with an eye.
And like, I've never heard anybody say, well, no, there a couple
Can't
years
believe
ago,
you didn't give credit to the
there was a lawsuit against Kat Von D because she did a portrait tattoo based on a photograph by a professional photographer of a famous person, and it was a dead famous person. So it's not like she could go get her own picture of him.
Right.
But like, I've tattooed iconic pictures.
Oh, I got one on my leg. The Kurt Cobain, one of the most like famous photo shoots ever.
I didn't take that picture.
No.
But
like, I wanted the damn tattoo.
Yeah.
And you could do it.
And we did it. And but like I even thought that was weird that Kat Von D had to go through that, because it's like I get it both ways, right? Like, people like, and who knows, maybe that photographer saw
a money grab,
like a money grab.
I don't think he'd come after us because we don't have the platform to pay him, but he was, or she, I don't know who the photographer was, but I think they saw that as also a level of disrespect. Again, had she maybe been like, well, so every time I want to do a realism piece by a photographer, if I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'm like, ooh, I really like this person's photography, I always, or a model, and they post pictures of their photo shoot, I'm like, can I paint this? Can I tattoo this? I've never gotten a no, and I've only done it probably 10, 15 times in my life. Even if they have 200,000+ followers, every time they've been like, fuck yeah, dude, that's so cool. Like, send me pictures when you're done with your painting, and sometimes I'll be like, I'll send you a print, or, like, just to be like, thank you for the inspiration and thank you for allowing me to do it. So I really think it's how you go about it and how you like pay it forward and asking and going about it the right way. I think is very important.
Like, I've even had friends of mine that are not necessarily even like serious photographers, but they've posted
some good
photographs every now and again on their Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and I see it and I'm like, oh, that would make a great painting. I don't just paint it. Like, I'll ask them, even though some of them are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But I still will ask them, like, dude, that's a really cool picture of a sunflower. The sunflower painting prints that I have.
Oh yeah, beautiful. They're in the front.
That was one of my clients took that photograph.
Sick.
And he posted it, and I was like, on the comments, I'm like, dude, cool if I paint this? And he was like, yeah, for sure, dude.
Love it.
Like,
I think that right there is I mean, it's the same thing with like food and culinary. Like if you're have a restaurant and you steal a recipe from one of the greats in your area or whatever, like you're going to get in trouble. You're at least going to get the hammer from the other restaurant owners and whatever. If you go to someone's house and they have a family recipe and they're willing to give it to you because you've known them for a decade and you've been asking for a really long time, and you're like, when you make it, you're like, this is my buddy's grandma's recipe. Like, there's levels to like recreating and how you go about getting the original recipe or the photograph or the inspiration. And I just think like you kind of got to earn it a little bit. Like you don't just like steal shit and pretend it's yours. That's when I think shit gets a little muddy and artists start getting fucking pissed because you're stealing a part of their mind really to monetize off it.
Where's that line? Because like how many restaurants are there that you can get a cheeseburger at?
Oh, totally.
That's the same fucking thing. It's a cheeseburger.
You're not wrong. And I think a cheeseburger is a very good example of like a sparrow.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the most like original. Like,
it's like
if I ask 100 chefs to make me a cheeseburger, they're going to be different. They're going to be different. And some are going to get super creative with their like jalapeno fucking raspberry jelly and fucking bacon and whatever. And then some are just going to give you that straight like LA street cheeseburger with the smashed fucking patties and mustard.
Even then, if you do like a fig and brie cheeseburger, like Gordon Ramsay's going to rip you a new one because he's like, I wanted a fucking cheeseburger.
Right. Again.
Like, American cheese and meat.
That's it. Ketchup, mustard.
And like, cook it right. Make it taste good.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. But, and that's what I've noticed, like with my old roommate who is a chef, like they travel the world to get inspiration and find new spices and things and recipes. But every time I've been fortunate to go to Michelin star restaurants, every time they put the plate down, if it was inspired by something, they will always say this fig, raspberry, whatever is a rendition of any restaurant, you name it, or chef. And they'll be like, this is a recreation of Gordon Ramsay's blah, blah, blah. Enjoy. And they a lot of times do say, this is a spin, this is a rendition. And they do like say, this is not straight from my mind, but it's something that I loved, and I took the bones of it and created this for you. So, but to further what we were just saying about the cheeseburger is like, we're talking about like genres almost. Like American traditional is a genre, just like rock is, just like cheeseburgers are. There's a million ways to make a cheeseburger, a million ways to make a traditional tattoo, a million ways to make everything we just talked about, or a cubism or an expressionistic, or like, so really you're already copying someone's work, no matter really what genre you're playing in, because you're making it to fit that genre. Now it's up to you to acknowledge where that started and to put a little spin on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been artists throughout the years that post a neo-traditional tattoo or whatever they do. And they'll drop a bomb, you know, like something completely different that no one's ever done before. And it does blow your brain.
Yeah.
Because I think we all have a certain level of feeling like everything original is gone.
Right, dude.
But they also probably thought that 20 years ago.
It is true, because you're right. Like there are still new things. Like I saw the other day, this dude, people have been sending me he does like black and gray realism roses with like a trad dagger going through
I saw that.
It's cool as shit. It's super different.
I screenshot it because I might try to live in that world.
Yeah. And people are creating new waves.
Inspiring.
People are creating new waves. And like that will become a pretty normal thing. I've seen a lot of people with trad shit doing like 90s tribal in the background of the trad, and it works, like that strong big black fields next to like some cool bold line weight with bright colors. Like, you're not like inventing trad or tribal, but combining them and actually make something cool. And so there are plenty of ways to like
still be original.
I agree. I think so. I mean,
yeah, no, I do too.
Honestly, I think like fashion would be the hardest thing. Like, dude, do you know how we just, when we were in London, we went to this place called I can't remember, but it's like a 6-story mall, massive. Like, we're talking like 2,000 yards by 2,000 yards, 6 floors of just designer fucking shit. And we went, one floor is just men's, and again, it's like Burberry, Dior, all the way to like Huff and like skate brands and Supreme and shit like that. And but then like the girls floor, there's 5 of them. One area, sunglasses, shoes, all this. The high heels section, 4 football fields of high heels that came out this year. Try recreating a fucking high heel, dude. Like, I was sitting there like just looking at it because I'm like, this, like, I don't fucking like high heels, but I like to see where the designer's mind's at when he has one of the most basic fucking things to create. It's a shoe with a high heel on it.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's somehow 10,000 different ones. Sure, a lot of them you could grab 4 or 5 and you're like, I don't really.
Basically.
Maybe the toes a little pointy around it, or, you know, but like.
Minute changes.
That would be really hard to do. That would be really fucking hard. And same with trad. Like, I want a trad eagle, trad to the bones, like single line weight, all that. Like, there's only so much I can do to make this. Like, that's when we need the snake with it, or the snake eating an apple, and I don't know. You gotta like add new elements.
Yeah, maybe if you're combining shoe shit, like have a high heel like tennis shoe. You know, like we've all.
That's where they're cool, where they would start folding them down so they can turn into like a night shoe that you can dance in or something.
My ex had like high heel Crocs. Like platform Crocs. That's
and I've seen that too, where they're just like, but again, that's not like reinventing the wheel. There is another form out there that's, you're combining multiple things. Like platform shoes has been big since like the 60s or whatever, and like the punk era, I don't know, like so we're all drawing inspiration from something.
Well, fashion loops, right?
And hard
all the
that's
time.
The one thing that, and I think tattooing kind of does too. Like Katie and I were talking yesterday, and she was doing some hand-drawn shit and I was too, and I was like, I mean, the iPad's amazing, bro. It's fucking sick. It expedites everything. You can like get an extra tattoo in with the time you saved by not having to draw everything on paper by hand. It's sometimes fun to just have your hands on the paper, and like, I miss it, you know? So I do think the wheel spins, and what goes around comes around, and trends are trends. Like, at the end of the day, yes, it's all just tools.
It's like us going back and enjoying actually a hand-drawn design on paper is no different than these kids, like we mentioned earlier, going back to the darkroom and developing film, you know, the way that their grandpa used to do it, or whoever. One thing I wanted to kind of bring up and call out too is like, it's interesting across the arts in general. So we have visual, musical,
video,
and visual, like acting.
Performance or performing art.
Yeah. And that could be anything from theater to Hollywood, right? But like, it's interesting how the rules of copying or emulating work are very different, even among those 3 genres. And within each genre, there's a little bit of gray area too. But like, if you like go back to Vanilla Ice, you know, using that riff from the David Bowie Queen song, you know, dun dun dun, you know, whatever, like, Homie is probably still paying.
Oh yeah,
that lawsuit.
royalties. Yeah, if you're not doing royalties,
Like
then
you can, but he could have easily been like, it's the exact same hook. I'm going to use it. I'll buy it.
Yes, yes. Give you royalties for every time it plays,
and then like
that would be the proper way to go about it.
Yeah, like rappers, they always deal with that.
Oh yeah, pop artists.
75% of their songs are sampled, and pop artists and stuff like that. And you have the whole cover issue.
Yep. That's a dangerous game too, and it's music is.
Right. And like
crazy
so it's like, and you can hear like a lot of times, how many times has this happened to you? You're driving your car, you're here at work, song comes on the radio and you're like, oh, I love this fucking song. And then they get 2 or 3 seconds more into that song and it's not the song you thought it was.
Right.
But the start is super similar.
It's super fucked.
And you're like, I thought that sounded exactly like that Mumford & Sons or whoever.
Right.
But it was Metallica.
Right.
So like, I don't know, where's the line there? Maybe it's different enough. Maybe you need a trained ear to be able to even
I think
assess that situation.
In that right there, I think you just hit it on the nose. Is not a lot of people are even able. So like, have really bad ADD, and I'm like slightly like neurodivergent. Sound in music is something that like noise really affects my brain. Like I shut down when like people are chewing loud. Like I literally can't. College was really hard for me when someone like would eat next to me in class, because I'm like, I just want to like, I read about it in this like Driven to Distraction ADD book, where it's like some people like literally lose their fucking mind based on certain sounds. Emily was, and I was classically trained to play guitar when I was younger, so notes, and I read sheet music and stuff, and notes and sounds. Anyways, Em was brushing her teeth the other night, and I was like, the sound of your toothbrush is like, I don't like that sound. And I was like, I wonder what note it is. And I like got my phone out, and there's like an app you can like tune your guitar with or piano. And I was like, oh, it's like an E or whatever. And she's like, my toothbrush doesn't have a note. I was like, every sound in the world has a note. It's literally a sound. Yeah. And it has a scale and a structure. Yeah. Like every sound, from a coin dropping, to every sound, it has a note. And so then I'm like fucking around, like humming and making like dropping things and seeing what notes they are. And I don't know, like sound just really affects me. And she really likes pop music. I'm way more on the underground and like hip hop and shit. I like all music, but every time she like finds this new artist and it's this like super compressed pop sound, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of blah, blah, blah from the 70s, 60s, 80s. I've listened to a lot of eras of music just like you. And it's really easy for me to like see when artists start biting other artists from the past, and it bothers the fuck out of her, because she's like, why don't you just listen to the song for what it is? And I'm like, I can't, because it reminds me so much of this. I'm just looking to have a conversation about like music right now. She gets defensive sometimes. And so I was like, we probably shouldn't just talk about music, because the way you hear music and the way I hear music is completely fucking different. My brain is looking for connections to other shit. Your brain is enjoying the sound that you're hearing. Just a completely different, visually tattoos. She sees trad tats and she goes, oh, that's your style. You love that. And I'm like, that's not, I don't like that trad. I like New York trad or what, like
it looks the same.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
And so not everyone's eye is trained or ear is trained to, like you just said, maybe they don't hear it, so
yeah.
Where is the fucking line? Because in everyone's eyes, the line is different.
The line is fucking different. Like,
and ears and whatever.
Yeah. To that point, like all of us, right, have been kids, and you're listening to your new, Beastie Boys album that just dropped, or Devo or whoever you were into.
Right.
And your mom and dad came in the room and they're like,
turn that shit off. Yeah, my mom would rap.
All your songs
sounds the same.
And you're like, but you're into rap or you're into Devo, and you're like, no, these are distinctly very different songs.
Their flow's different.
If you would
the
just listen to it,
yes,
and then I don't know if you're old enough yet, but like I'm starting to experience that with the new music that's coming out now.
Sure. Hip hop.
And I'm like, it all sounds the same. And I'm like, Jesus. But
there's validity to that.
And where is like what's probably the most common question asked in literally every interview with a musician is, who are some of your biggest influences growing up?
Yes.
So where, like, I feel like that's another gray line, like stealing versus inspired by, and that can go to all arts. It can go to our world. It can go to music.
It can go to making fucking bathtubs.
You know, like
whatever.
Dude, anything. And like, but you know, what's that band? Greta Van Fleet.
I don't know.
They even dress like they're like. They're very similar to Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay.
In their sound, the singer kills it. Like his voice is amazing. They're not copying Led Zeppelin. They're not singing Stairway to Heaven. They're not singing Kashmir or anything like that. But
they sound just like
you could put a video of them side by side with Robert Plant and Company. You're gonna like, well, I see it, and I hear it.
Totally.
But there's never been, as far as I've been heard about, like there's never been a lawsuit from Led Zeppelin towards this newer band. I think that's what their name is, Greta Von Fleet. Some like Katie knows. Anyway, but they, like.
Well, and I think
influences in general, like,
that's the line you were talking about, because a lot of times those cases do go probably to mediation. I don't know if they go to like court, but it's probably lawyers sitting across the table and playing both, and the 10% rule, as you stated before. So because it just takes a little tweak to get out of that like lawsuit realm of completely copying something. And I think music is a little different than tattoos, for example, because there are few artists in the world that made $1 million, $10 million off of one tattoo. Artists can create a song, one-hit wonders, and they're paid for life because it's played in movies every year, and it's played in TV shows, and it's played on all these streaming services and CDs and all this. Like, you can legit make an entire career off one song.
Oh yeah, we've seen it over and over again.
Like, that song can pay you for life, and tattooing just isn't really like that. And so I feel like the stipulation for like copying in music is so like rigid, and it's way more serious in my opinion. Like, just because you can make so much money off of one song, we really, as tattoo artists, like, you can have a moment where you do a back piece that goes viral, and yes, because you did that back piece and because people saw it, you will now have a very successful career. But that one tattoo is not making you all the money for the rest of your career. It's you just built a name off that tattoo that people want, but you still got to come to work every day and tattoo and draw. Like, and those musicians can fucking literally retire off a song. Never touch an instrument again.
Royalties is enough sometimes.
Right. So
especially if everyone wants to feature that song.
And when you copy that shit, now you're taking money out of my mouth. So it's like, I do think based on the art form, there are different rules too. Because really, we're just trying to like keep the shit alive. Like, that's why I will tattoo traditional designs that other people have done, because I'm like, I mean, I love that person. Their work is super cool, and this client wants that. Like, I'm not going to just sit down and be like, you should get fucking this Jacob Donnelly Eye of the Storm piece. Like, no, I'm going to draw you an Eye of the Storm piece unless you come in like, I want this, just like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to like look at the artist, make sure it may be cool. I may not text for like a fucking traditional piece, but I'm definitely gonna like put it in the caption, like a recreation of this, or I did this person's tattoo that was created in this time in this city, whatever, you know, just fully paying respects to like whose tattoo and drawing that is. Who knows? Maybe they fucking stole the tattoo though too. It may not even be theirs.
They probably fucking did. Like that kind of leads me to another quick offshoot thing to explore, and it's a little bit related to the Sparrow Rose argument, but like, you know, now we see all these like, I almost call them like generic tattoo designs on Pinterest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've all had clients, continue to have clients that are like, you know, bro, how much for that? You know, and they got their picture of a tattoo or a tattoo drawing on their Pinterest account. Like somebody created that drawing.
Could have been a 13-year-old in Ukraine, or it could have been a world famous artist in San Francisco.
Well, and that's the thing, is nobody knows who that artist is. And so, like, I don't know about you, dude, but like, if someone comes in here with a Pinterest tattoo or drawing, and they're like, I want exactly that, I'm like, get in the chair, dude. Like, no problem. We'll do it. Let's run it. Because no one cares. Like,
no, it's an olive branch.
That
it looks
client
cool to you.
wants them, and there's probably already 10,000 versions of this tattoo in the world right now, at least. So what's it matter?
It really doesn't.
And like, you know, I think early on in my career that was different. I'd be like, well, let me draw my version of an olive branch. It's going to be way sicker than that olive branch. But there's only so much you can do with an olive branch.
Right.
And like at the end of the day,
another leaf,
like,
add another olive.
I'm busy. That person already drew the olive branch. Like,
fucking rip a stencil.
Let's fucking do it.
Because it's not.
And there'll never be any legal repercussions.
No, because it's like, dude, it's a fucking little tiny tattoo that took an hour. It's not a fucking bodysuit copy. Like, I will say, when someone does that, if it's not like a walk-in in the moment, 10 out of 10 times I'll be like, yeah, for sure. I'll draw my little version, and I'll be like, and I'll try to sell it a little bit. Hey, I know you love this. I drew it just like it. I shaded it exactly the same, but I made it so it's custom. If you want the one that's one of one, you can take this, or we can do literally that tattoo. I don't care. It's up to you. And honestly, 9 out of 10 times they're like, ooh, I want the one of one. That looks pretty much the same, but it is different. So it's totally up to
I'll do
the
that
artist.
With small shit, give it an option. What about like if you have
if it's an option, walk-ins on the phone, get them the fucking tattoo. Don't even waste your time.
Yeah,
like,
especially if you're in a busy street shop.
Yeah.
Dude,
but
it's
making you $150. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and fucking draw for 2 hours to
right.
give you that
and like
leaf.
And then like old school Flash is different because that was like you bought Flash.
Yeah, a lot of times the artist did make money on that.
You buy your Flash sheets, and when you buy, because like, dude, like 40 years ago, there was such a thing as Flash artists.
Yeah,
that didn't necessarily tattoo, but they drew sick tattoo designs, and they would go around
conventions
and they could
sell
shops to different shops in their town, and it's like, well, you know, yeah, I did sell your competitor pages 1, 2, and 3 of my Flash collection, but no one has 4, 5, and 6, and they're like, fuck, we'll take that.
Right.
So it's like, that's almost like buying royalties, like if you're a musician, you know?
Yeah, and you can keep, well, and there's like that thing where a lot of like super chatty street shops like won't let you take pictures of their Flash on their wall because they've never posted that stuff on the internet. And it's like, you can only get it if you come here because our artist drew it, and it's not supposed to be recreated unless someone takes a picture of it, posts their tattoo online. Now you're going to riff it, but it's not going to be exactly the same because it's on a curved arm or whatever. The photo isn't a flat fucking straight on picture drawing. So there are.
That reminds me of that old story about Sailor Jerry, who people would request he send his stencils.
Yeah. In the mail, the acetates.
In the mail, the acetate stencils, and he would change them a little bit.
Just so they weren't exactly
so that it wasn't
the same
exactly
as
the
his.
way he tattooed it. You know?
Which is cool, I think. And yeah, we were.
That's no different than you and me sending an angled picture to a client.
Right.
So
So
they
that they
have
don't send it to another artist and recreate it exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, man, I it's a fine line, and I think just the respect's got to be paid and asking. Well, and even what you were just saying, like I bought that Briganti book that I love his work so much. Italian tattooer, does American trad, and
excellent work.
And I like sent him a DM basically being like, dude, I love your work. Like this book is really cool. Thanks. I just wanted to say thank you because I got to add it to my collection. Dude, fuck yeah, blah, blah. He's like, any design in there, it's meant to tattoo him. I'm like, fuck, dude, that's sick. Like, I'm not big on, if you're alive and you do the style I like, I'm gonna tweak the design, even if I get the blessing from you, because I can tweak it just enough to where it still holds that strong tattoo or whatever that you put down that the client likes, but I can tweak it enough to have it not be exactly the same, but still visually have all the value. And but if you're dead, I don't mind recreating your work line for line just to keep your work alive. If you've put a lot into this community that we have and you're no longer with us, I think it's cool that your work can still live on and just continue to be on humans and walk around the world.
Yeah.
And then hope and educate the person. Like, this is a Grimm tattoo. He'd made this in 1970. And now when you're in fucking Spain and someone's like, that's a cool tattoo, it's like, cool, thanks. This guy in Denver did it, but it's actually a Bert tattoo from 19, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
and
an original. Blah, blah,
yeah. So you can just tell the story and that's.
Well, and you get
cool
excited
to have a
about
story.
doing stuff like that because you're like passing the torch.
I feel like when I die as a tattooer, like figuratively I'm passing the torch to everyone that's still holding the machine and like take care of it, recreate my work. I don't care, line for line or change it up. I don't care, but I would like to continue to live through my work that I put all my life into. So I see no issue with that. I actually see great respect in that regard because we're all able to do custom shit and our own shit. But if you want to like take the time to do someone else's, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah. Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Amen. And you see it like musicians, you know, we all dress like our favorite band member when we were a kid, or our rapper, or athletes. Like, I was so inspired to just be like that person or whatever. And like, yeah, I was copying them, but they're fucking cool as shit. And I want to be like them. So, and I'm sure if I walked up to them, met them, they'd be like, nice outfit, bro.
That's
you
awesome.
know, like,
yeah.
I see where you got that from.
I remember like 2 years running, at least, my brother and I dressed like Kiss.
Oh, fuck yeah. My dad was into that.
We had like
hard
a makeup kit.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
Fucking
For
rap
Halloween,
group,
that was our Halloween outfit.
Fuck yeah. Reminds me of Happy Gilmore when he like loves Kiss and it like ruins his fantasy land. It's like, and then just like Kiss runs and he's making out with his mom, Gene Simmons. Or his grandma. So funny, dude.
That guy protects his shit. Gene Simmons.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
He don't mess around.
No, they've made...
He probably would have sued my brother and I dressing up like him.
Quite possibly, bro. You gotta be careful with that shit.
12-year-old.
Kiss is extremely copyrighted.
Yeah,
They don't fuck around. All right.
We there?
Yeah, we are right on time.
What a great topic.
The train's
today.
here. Yeah, that was good. I honestly think we could just further that, and please, like, let us know your opinions, because this is such a hot topic that
and a broad topic
has been going on since the Renaissance days and before, probably all the way to like tribal days. So
yeah, great opportunity for the comments.
Yeah,
today. Yeah, we'd love to
Art,
see
music,
it. Love
film,
to hear
all of it.
your all the genres, like
Right.
tattoo, music, film.
Experiences.
Painting.
Have you ever been called out? Just want to hear it.
That'd be a good
And we'll
one.
always talk about it and highlight any comment that comes through. So
For sure. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining in as usual. We appreciate it. We
Always.
appreciate your support. As always, like, subscribe, follow, share.
Share.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening.
Love you, dog.
See you next week. Love you.
See you next time.